I'm Jamie Colby, and I'm on Cape Cod, Massachusetts, heading to the small town of Wellfleet. I'm here to learn about a strange inheritance that shaped a family's life for half a century.
My name is Elena Del Banco. In 2011, my sister and I inherited an extraordinary object from our father. This was my father's home for many years. He and my mother built it in 1955.
Elena's father was the virtuoso cellist Bernard Greenhouse, who died in 2011 at the age of 95. Greenhouse spent most of his career playing with the renowned Beaux-Arts Trio, which made its debut in 1955 and catapulted to fame.
He was very warm and very charming, but very involved with his work. And he traveled all the time as he became more and more successful.
As one of the world's premier cellists, Bernard figured he should be playing one of the world's finest cellos. He began searching in Europe for an instrument equal to his talent.
He went to dealers and to instrument shops. And wherever he went, he said, "Have you heard any rumors about great cellos?"
In 1957, he found one in the West German city of Aachen. Your father came home with something he longed for, searched for.
I was very young, but I knew that he had found something very important.
Very important, indeed. It was a Stradivarius, crafted in Italy around 1707 by the master of them all, Antonio Stradivari. It even has its own aristocratic title, the Countess of Steinlein. Sound expensive? It was.
It was a huge sum of money for us, for our family. And it made a huge difference in our lives to pay it off over many years.
Dealers estimate Bernard paid around $100,000, an astronomical sum in the late 1950s, when the average American house sold for $18,000. But for Greenhouse, the instrument became a part of him.
He called it every superlative you could call it. His love, his treasure, his heart, his voice.
At the height of his career, Greenhouse performed nearly 200 times a year.
I always wanted to hop in the cello case and travel with my father wherever he was going.
When Greenhouse wasn't in concert, he taught at the Manhattan School of Music, Juilliard, and here at home in his Cape Cod studio. This is where Elena also played the cello as a child. You sometimes put your name in his appointment book to try to get time with him in lieu of a lesson, erasing the name of a student that was actually coming.
I didn't do that to get a cello lesson. I did that to get an hour of his time.
Did you ever play the Strad?
No, never.
Why?
I never played well enough to play the Strad.
By whose opinion?
I guess by my father's, but I never wanted to.
Can I hear him play?
I would love it. Having the music is wonderful. It's hard, but wonderful. Isn't that beautiful?
Wow.
Haunting.
What's the first thing you do when you have to decide whether to keep or sell the family jewel?
I think the first question you ask yourself is, do you have any use for or love for the family jewel? And then I think a big part of it also is, can you afford to keep the family jewel?
The financial implications of this strange inheritance worry Elena and her husband Nicholas, who are both college professors nearing retirement. What would have it entailed to keep the Strad? Insurance? Storage?
And coming up, of course, with the taxes that the government wants.
Did you hear from them?
No, they just said, let those people keep their inheritance. We have so many other people. Yes, of course.
So does that weigh into whether you have to sell something, the fact that you have to pay taxes?
Absolutely.
So what should Elena's family do? They decide it's too expensive to keep the Strad. They're keenly aware that a successful auction could yield millions, quite a nice nest egg in retirement. But selling a 300-year-old Stradivarius is no small undertaking.
It's a cutthroat world in the world of musical instruments. We came to understand all kinds of things that could go wrong.
That's next.
But first, our strange inheritance quiz question. What percentage of an inheritance does the federal government currently tax? 30%, 40%, or 50%? The answer when we return.